Did you know that frequent nighttime urination may not be a sign of aging, but rather a silent habit that may be broken? Indeed, it is. And it could be because of this one modification that thousands of elderly people in India are now able to sleep soundly. Dear buddy, you're not alone if you are over 60 and have trouble sleeping through the night. You may wake up at 2 a.m. and then again at 4 a.m. with heavy legs, eyes, and a restless, exhausted mind. Every night, this silently takes place in homes from Kochi to Kanpur. Additionally, the majority of elders believe it is their fate. Here's the good news, though. In today's video, I'll demonstrate how to use easy, natural techniques that cooperate with your body rather than against it to gently treat what doctors refer to as nocturia. No complicated diet, no heavy medications, just a greater comprehension of your everyday schedule. Keep reading because I'll also share true examples of seniors from all over India who made minor adjustments and are now waking up feeling rejuvenated after getting 6 or even 7 hours of good sleep. I have a quick yet important question for you before we start. What time is it currently, and where are you seeing this video? Kindly share in the comments section below. I cherish every moment of your day, no matter how minor. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you found this video useful, so you don't miss any more advice on leading a happy and healthy life. Namaste. Many Indian elderly discreetly start waking up multiple times during the night to urinate after the age of 60. It seems like a minor annoyance at first. However, it gradually develops into a pattern that disrupts the deep sleep routine. You assume that the night will be restful as you head to bed peacefully. However, your bladder sends an urgent signal only 2 or 3 hours later. By morning, your back hurts, your body feels exhausted, and even your beloved cup of chai has lost its vigor. Many people think that at the age of 60, this is merely old age and typical. However, medical science provides us with a different and more optimistic message. After 60, night urination is more than just aging. It also focuses on how the internal systems of your body evolve throughout time. And we can learn how to better assist the body if we comprehend these changes. Let's start with a hormone that your brain produces called vasopressin. Vasopressin rises at night while you're younger. It instructs your kidneys to reduce the amount of urine they produce so that you can sleep soundly. However, around age 60, the body produces less vasopressin at night. So even when you're asleep, your kidneys continue to filter at the same rate. This is one of the covert causes of older people's increased nighttime urination needs. The body no longer retains water in the same rhythm, even if you continue to consume the same amount. Add the kidneys' natural slowing down as another modification. The kidneys are amazing organs. However, they become softer with age. They take a little longer to control fluid balance and filter blood. Therefore, even a typical evening water intake can cause your system to produce more urine than usual. Your bladder becomes more sensitive, which is an additional piece of the jigsaw. The bladder can hold 400 to 500 milliliters before a significant need occurs in your 30s or 40s. However, after 60, even 150 milliliters, or roughly half a glass, can cause the brain to get a signal that the bladder is full. This isn't a sickness. It's just your nerves become more sensitive and vigilant. Let me introduce you to Mr. Ravi, who lives in Lucknow. At the age of 67, he believed that waking up twice at night was his destiny. He tried sleeping medicines, stopped drinking water after sundown, and even skipped his evening stroll. However, nothing changed until he saw a specialist who clarified that his bladder nerves were not damaged, only more sensitive. Within 2 weeks, his sleep improved with only a few little adjustments, such as sleeping on his side, drinking more water in the morning, and consuming fewer fluids in the evening. He now claims that he felt as though he had 5 more years to live and that no medication was even necessary. Therefore, frequent nighttime urination is not solely related to age, dear listener. It has to do with consciousness. Your body is still intelligent. It's just that we're using a different language now. Additionally, Calm sleep can return naturally, fearlessly, and tenderly if you learn to listen to it with compassion and care. Now, let's examine which behaviors can subtly exacerbate this illness and how we can gradually alter them. Sleep disturbances after the age of 60 may not always be the result of a serious illness. It's something much smaller, a silent behavior carried out of habit or concern that gradually starts to interfere with your sleep. The difficult part is that we frequently act in these ways with the best of intentions, to feel full, to remain hydrated, or just to exercise caution. However, the body does not act in the same manner as it did at age 40 after the age of 60. And once we realize how it has altered, we may start to accept it without using force, just awareness. We all know that water is necessary, so let's start with it. Many elders in Indian homes attempt to replenish their water intake after sunset. Occasionally, this is due to their failure to drink during the day. Other times, it's just a habit, perhaps a sip before bed, another with medication, and a glass after supper. However, after 60, excessive water consumption after 7 p.m. can turn out to be a secret cause of your sleepless nights. You see, your kidneys start to slow down after sunset, getting your body ready for sleep. However, adding a lot of fluid late at night forces the kidneys to continue functioning. And even while your body is motionless in bed, attempting to fall asleep, they are continuously generating urine. Now, let's talk about warm, soothing foods that many seniors like to eat at night, like soups, milk, or rasam. They have a mild, calming, and easily digestible texture. However, they still count as fluids and contribute to your overall fluid intake. Therefore, even if you believe it's only a bowl of dal, if you eat it within 2 hours of going to bed, your bladder might not agree later in the night. Then comes our favorite tea or coffee in the evening. At 8 p.m., a steaming cup of masala chai feels, in many Indian homes, like a ritual. However, the caffeine and natural diuretic included in both tea and coffee cause your body to generate more pee. Additionally, citrus beverages like mozamba or orange juice, particularly after sunset, may irritate the lining of your bladder. Even when the bladder is not full, this irritation causes the brain to receive signals more frequently. Many elderly people also have the precautionary habit of using the restroom right before bed. At first, this makes sense, but eventually your bladder picks up a different message. Bladder overtraining occurs when it starts to send urgency signals, even when it is only partially full. Therefore, rather than being beneficial, this behavior can make sleep less restful overall and cause more nighttime disruptions. Let's finally discuss your sleeping environment, paying particular attention to the temperature of your room and your nightwear. Even during the warmer months, many Indian elders still wrap themselves in heavy blankets or wear bulky garments at night. In reaction, the body starts to perspire, which prompts the kidneys to start controlling fluid levels once more. More urination and another trip to the bathroom right as your body's about to go into deep sleep are the results. Allow me to tell you a puny story about Mrs. Sushila, a 70-year-old woman who used to wake up 3 times every night. She thought it was simply the effects of aging. However, her sleep changed once she started drinking tea at 6 p.m., dressed in lighter cotton clothing, and stopped eating soup after 7:30. After a week, she started sleeping through the night for 6 hours straight, and her morning smile came back. These are not errors, dear listener. These are carefully cultivated habits that have been transferred to a body that functions differently. You can restore tranquility to your nights with a few small adjustments. The nicest aspect is that you don't have to battle aging. All you have to do is comprehend it. Let's look at how to plan your meals and water consumption to promote better sleep in the next section. Many Indian elders believe that sleep issues are a natural part of aging, although our everyday routines are frequently the true cause. Simple things like our evening meal and water intake are among the most often disregarded causes of sleep disturbances. When and how we eat and drink matters more than how much we consume. You see, the body gets more sensitive to timing after the age of 60. The digestive system, bladder, and kidneys all begin to function in a slightly different rhythm. We end up waking up in the middle of the night, feeling exhausted in the morning, and questioning why sleep no longer seems complete if we don't adapt to this new routine. Since water is essential to life, let's start with it. Depending on your body size and health, the majority of Indian doctors advise drinking 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. However, the best time to consume this water is from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your body is more active during this time, and your metabolism and kidneys are functioning at their best. Drinking water during this window promotes energy, digestion, and hydration without interfering with your later sleep. Your intake should start to drop off about 5 p.m. Reduce gradually, like turning down the lights before bed, but don't stop entirely. Only take tiny sips when you're thirsty, and don't drink entire glasses unless your doctor tells you to. By making this small change, your body generates less urine at night, allowing your bladder to rest comfortably. Food is equally important. At night, a lot of elderly people choose to eat light foods like raw salad, buttermilk fruits, or rasam. However, some foods can subtly upset your bladder after 7 p.m. Despite being healthful, tomatoes, citrus fruits, raw onions, and thin soups are high in liquid and acid. Particularly when used near sleep, they may increase fluid load and bladder sensitivity. Try something that soothes your body and mind instead. Around 6:30 p.m., a cup of warm haldi milk, a tiny banana, or a few pieces of papaya. These are calming, mild options. They help soothe the nerves before bed, have a low acidity, and don't overburden the bladder. Keep in mind that the food you eat at night should tell your body to unwind, not to remain vigilant. Allow me to tell you a Gujarati tale. Mr. Mahesh, a 68-year-old Surat resident, used to wake up 3 times and urinate. Although his testing came out normal, he believed it was related to his prostate. After that, he started monitoring his behavior and discovered that he was drinking the majority of his water between 6 and 9 o'clock. He moved 80% of his water to the morning and early afternoon per the advice of his physician. Additionally, at 6:30 p.m., he substituted a banana for his 8 p.m. buttermilk. His nighttime urination decreased to once, and occasionally not at all in just 2 weeks. Your body isn't failing you, dear elder. It is merely requesting that you adhere to a new rhythm that honors its age and knowledge. You may feel more in charge of your health, sleep better, and wake up feeling more rested with a mindful diet and water plan. Let's move on to see how your sleeping position and the atmosphere in your room impact your quality of sleep. In India, many elderly people lie down every night in the hopes of getting a good night's sleep, only to be repeatedly roused by the urge to urinate. I don't drink as much at night as you may think. I have a light dinner. So why do I still wake up from my bladder? Sometimes the solution is found in the subtle ways you sleep, dress, and arrange your space, rather than in your food or prescription drugs. You see, your body gets more sensitive to outside factors after the age of 60, and things that you previously didn't notice now have a greater impact. Additionally, sleeping posture, nightwear, and ambient temperature are 3 factors that subtly affect your bladder during the night. Despite their apparent simplicity, they have a real and clinically confirmed impact on your kidneys and bladder. First, let's talk about sleeping posture. With a soft pillow beneath the head and another between the knees, the majority of doctors now advise elderly patients to try sleeping on their left side. This position enhances blood flow to the kidneys and digestive organs while lowering bladder pressure. However, resting flat on your back or with a high pillow might cause the abdomen to be compressed, which can cause the bladder to send out misleading signals. Additionally, fluids from your legs may flow back and activate your kidneys if you sleep with your back to the ceiling and both legs extended. Now consider your sleeping attire. Elders in many Indian households choose thick shawls, heavy kurtas, or flannel pajamas at night because they feel that warmth offers security. However, the body's ability to regulate its internal temperature gets more sensitive around the age of 60. At night, wearing heavy clothing can induce overheating, which in turn leads to perspiration and fluid loss. When your body should be sleeping, this causes the kidneys to work harder and produce more pee. Rather, choose for lightweight, breathable cotton or linen sleepwear, particularly in humid months. Allow your skin to breathe. allow the body to cool down on its own. This creates a tranquil environment for the bladder and lessens renal stimulation. Another silent offender is room temperature. Even in warm weather, many elderly people cover themselves with heavy blankets, close windows, and turn off fans. However, research indicates that, particularly for older persons, the optimal sleeping temperature should be lower than 26 degrees. For the body to remain balanced and the air fresh, a light fan or mild cross ventilation is sufficient. Additionally, it's preferable to use 2 light cotton sheets layered over a large comforter if you get cold easily. Allow me to tell you about Mrs. Leela, a 72-year-old Chennai resident. She drank very little water after dinner, yet for years, she would wake up every 2 to 3 hours. Her daughter then gently assisted her in changing a few items, including the cotton nightgown, the soft-side sleeping pillow, and the lower pillow fan on low speed. She claimed to have slept 5 uninterrupted hours in a single week, something she hadn't done in almost 10 years. You can also try gently massage your belly clockwise, or breathing lightly in your abdomen before bed. Use a pillow to raise your legs for a few minutes. This aids in removing excess fluid from the legs prior to lying down. The body receives these tiny cues that it is secure, at ease, and prepared for sleep. Therefore, dear elder, your bedroom serves as a healing environment in addition to being a place to sleep. The air you breathe, the clothing you wear, and your body posture all convey signals to your bladder. Your body responds to these messages with deeper, undisturbed sleep that heals from the inside out when they are loving and kind. Indeed, night urination is a common occurrence among Indian elders, particularly those over 60. However, how can we determine when it is a natural aspect of aging and when it requires medical intervention? Many elders secretly harbor this question, for which there are no definitive answers. Let's carefully go over this with you today, step by step, so you feel knowledgeable and in control. It might not be a minor problem if you are waking up more than 3 times every night to go to the bathroom, and this has been happening for more than 2 weeks. Your body might be trying to tell you something deeper if you are waking up frequently, even when you are drinking less water at night, making dietary changes, and sleeping in a peaceful environment. It is crucial in these situations to consult a urologist, a medical professional who specializes in urinary health. You might feel more at ease and find the perfect solution with a basic examination that frequently includes an ultrasound or urine test. A change in the color or smell of urine is one of the warning indicators that elderly people should never disregard. Please don't wait if your pee turns unusually dark, contains blood, or feels unpleasant or burning. This could indicate an infection, inflammation of the bladder, or something more serious that needs to be treated right once. An enlarged prostate is occasionally associated with nighttime urination in older men. As the bladder enlarges with age, this gland, which surrounds the urethra, may press against it. Do not disregard symptoms such as a weak pee stream, trouble starting or stopping, or the sensation that your bladder has not been completely emptied. Prostate health is crucial, and discomfort and problems later on can be avoided with early management. Let's talk about a silent worry now. Even after urinating, many elderly people experience a persistent sense of incomplete relief. This may indicate nerve sensitivity or insufficient bladder emptying. Some elderly people continue going to the bathroom every 20 or 30 minutes because it feels good, not because their bladders are full. Your doctor can gently treat and help you understand this. Sometimes the issue persists even after adopting all the recommended lifestyle modifications, such as sleeping on your side, drinking water at the appropriate times, avoiding late-night tea, and dressing in cotton. At that point, it's critical to follow your body's cues and seek advice. Your body might simply require a bit more assistance from medical technology. You are not doing anything wrong. Allow me to tell you about Uncle Pradeep from Nagpur, who, despite trying every home remedy, continued to wake up 4 times every night. He discovered that a tiny bladder stone was quietly irritating him after speaking with a urologist. After 10 days of therapy, he was able to sleep through the night once more, without feeling anxious or irritated. Therefore, visiting a doctor is an act of wisdom rather than weakness, dear elder. Because sometimes the best self-care you can give yourself is to pay attention to your body when it's telling you to. And your body always reacts with calm sleep and a sense of lightness in the heart when you treat it with love and respect. For many Indian elders, restful sleep starts to seem like a thing of the past, something that happened in their earlier years and is now gradually disappearing. However, let me gently remind you that getting enough sleep is not a luxury that only young people can afford. Even if you get 60 or 70, you still deserve this calm, right? That is a fundamental bodily need. It's not simply your age if you wake up twice or 3 times per night. Your habits are frequently the ones that haven't changed to accommodate your body's shifting rhythm. In actuality, growing older does not have to be a hardship. It just means that you need to listen to your body a little more intently and treat it with compassion and understanding. Restful evenings can occasionally be restored with a single minor adjustment, such as rescheduling your evening tea for 6 p.m. or dressing in light cotton before bed. And when these minor adjustments are made with affection, they have a significant impact on your morning mood. Lighter legs, more relaxed mind, and energy that comes naturally rather than artificially. You have dedicated your entire life to taking care of your family, rising early, working late, and constantly considering others, dear elder. Now, however, is your moment. Your time to recuperate, to rest, and to get the same treatment you willingly provided. Let this movie serve as more than just information. Let it be a gentle reminder from someone who greatly admires you. If this message resonated with you in any way, please write hope in the comments section. Someone else who is silently watching, like you, might find confidence in it. If it was useful to you, please share it with a friend, relative, or your significant other, each of whom deserves a restful night. Next week, I'll be back with another straightforward, heartfelt message about living well after 60. Until then, I hope your morning is as warm as your first cup of chai in the morning light, and your night is as comfortable as your mother's old cotton sari. Namaste.